welcome to today's Pick a Card reading with Holistic Sista. That would be me, Jem. Thank you for joining in. We've got 3 cards to choose out of, 1, 2, or 3. I'll give you a little minute to have a look at those and see which one you're drawn to. If you picked card number 1, that was with the root chakra bowl. This one here. I see that you've finally made a choice in your life. That's what's coming through for me. And you've just made a choice about where you want to go in your life, whether it be in terms of travel or in terms of direction, in terms of career, relationship. But it's like you've just made the decision that's just come through. And you're happy, you're relieved. And I'll show you that card again. You're relieved to know the future is bright and you've got something you're focused on, so you're going to start climbing up the stairs. And let's see what else is going to come through for you with that one. Where have you been lately? What have you been doing? I get you have been contemplating a lot. You've been looking at your options and your choices, and I'll show you the card. The card that comes through is Queen of Swords. So it's like you've had a lot of things happening in your life. I've got shakes. Look at that. Must be spirit. Not nerves. Can't be. Shaking though. So I see you in this mode of contemplation, and you've had a lot of things come up against you and emotions that you've actually had to hide away and not let come to the surface. Interesting, the bowl that's hidden away there is a little red bowl. Very similar to this one. So that even ties in with that. But I see you in deep thought, and this is what you've come up to. Like, you've made the decision now, and you're happy and relieved to have made that. But where you've come from is I don't want to say it was trauma, but in that state of emotional struggle and where do I go next, and really thinking, really putting a lot of contemplation and deep thought into, do I take the safe option, swimming between the red and yellow flags? Do I achieve something that I feel might be a little bit further out of my reach? Do I trust spirit here? Really questioning what's next. So that's where you have been. Where are you going? What are we doing? Oh, so I feel like this has been a real internal journey for you, and you've kept things close to your heart, and you've had to protect yourself, and you've had to protect your own. I feel like for some people it could come through as well, so you've had to protect your own money, but I also feel in terms of emotions you've had to protect your own heart and look after your own emotions and be your own nurturer a lot, and take those deep breaths. And again, there's the houses in the background almost like looking over your shoulder, but until you've dealt with this emotional stuff that you've been going through, that felt a bit far away. But again, I do see that you are just at a place now where you've really decided and you're happy the direction you're going in. I'm going to pick one more from this deck. So for some of you, there might be some, I'm just getting with that card too, some indigestion problems. That might relate for some of you out there, or feeling gassy. Not only is she holding a stomach and a chest in that way, but I'm starting to get the physical tightness in there. Oh, I've definitely got moving. So I think whoever's picking up card number 1, I do feel like there is a move ahead of you, and you're just packing up and you're going somewhere completely new. You actually have headed south as well. Coming down from the hills there. So if you actually have made the decision to move, This is coming through as a very positive card too, being the Wands card, like you've set up the goals and you're preparing the trail to get to where you're going, packing everything ready to go. And you're strong as well, and you've got strength on your side. So even though you might feel a little bit worried about the journey because there's a lot of things to move there, you do have strength as well. So let's see, I think we go into synchronicity cards. Oh, the first ones I used as well, in case we haven't tuned in before, were the Lightseers Tarot. And I'm now moving on to synchronicity. Okay. I'm trying to cut down on my editing by holding them up because that takes me a really long time. Okay, so we are moving. I almost thought I heard one jump out then. Oop. Yeah, we've got a few jumped out. They must be ours. Joy. So I do feel like you've been on a little bit of a journey in terms of an internal planning of your life and what's ahead of you in your future. And there is going to be a lot of joy come through. So I feel like this new move is going to be really, really positive for you. Peaceful, being able to spread your wings again. No, I can't remember if I showed it to you. There you go. Beautiful. So the two cards that flipped over at once, both in tune and creativity. And I feel even though that one's got two people kissing, it doesn't necessarily represent a relationship. And the fact that they've come out together, I feel like you are going to be in tune with yourself as well and in your own creativity. And creative in terms of this move as well, having to, like you did do all that contemplating earlier on to get to the choice that you're at, but also just, yeah, being in tune with your creativity and even a bit of advice to lean into that creativity as an expression for the emotions that have been coming up. I do just feel like a great future ahead of you too, and a big light, and being in tune as well. And there's a carnival inside, and the carnival actually, to me, doesn't always represent something positive. So I feel like you're on the outside of that now. And now that if you've escaped the carnival, that might come through and resonate for some people, like you've been in a clown show or you've been at a place of a lot of noise and disruption, and you're now leaving that and you're going to be on the outside of that now. So that's very positive as well. And it does have you going to be around less people in the future as well. But that might just be representing where you're leaving from. And so much beauty and so much. I do see travel as well there with the World card coming through too, in terms of we're moving. So it might be quite a big move for you. But just that ultimate feeling of freedom and happiness coming through, with you actually being able to have options where maybe perhaps before you didn't feel like you had the options, and they've come up for you. And they've come up for you because you have been trusting your intuition. I mean, you've got the owl coming through too, which also represents spirit. And I know the owl represents spirit to a lot of people in terms of someone in their life they've known that has passed. I see this coming through also in your spiritual intuition, that you know where the roses are, you know how to get there, and you're trusting that feeling, because feelings are an expression of our intuition. And listening to what makes us feel good when we're in the company of certain people, you know, what makes us feel balanced and free like a bird, and when do we feel like we're at our best in what area, and who are we around to feel that. And then healing coming through too, which is very positive. So I feel like you are going on this big move, and coming through after that move is that time and that peace for you to do some internal healing, because I feel like with what has been going on in terms of the carnival card in the background here, I feel like there hasn't been a lot of time for quiet for you in your own doing things just for yourself. Begin to think of the fresh air and the sunshine. That also says on it, so that might be a beautiful little motivational piece for you to really focus in on those positive feelings. So if you are starting to get into a mental, what's the word? I'm going cycle, into an unhealthy thought pattern cycle, then to remember the sunshine and to feel the air and to feel the breeze and get back into that power of now type of feeling and thinking to reground yourself. And beautiful card Eagle coming through there, because you are going to get your power back. I feel like you may have lost it in the past a little bit, but may have, not for all of you. This is for all of you who haven't gone through a lot of negativity through this, but there is a big move coming up where I feel like you've had to really go within yourself and your guidance. And the card coming through next is Eagle, which to me is such a powerful animal, and beautiful card to represent strength as well, and that growth where you've come from, that you have made the right choices and followed your intuition, and how much that's really paying off for your future. And also the future of, if you have children, so also the future of your children, but also the future and the comfort of your own inner child as well. And some of you out there might have an animal as well there that might ring true for, having a little pet at home that this move will feel positive for. Okay, which deck are we going to go into next? Path of Light. Let's try this one. That's this deck here. Path of Light. And with the root chakra bowl too, with that card, it's real grounding energy too, of, you know, with the physical moves of stuff that's very earthly thing that you're having to go through, but grounding yourself in a new place and setting up your life again. And aim at God comes through, which for me, we are all God as well, and that God feeling. So aim for that God feeling. Aim for, you know, shoot for the, what is it? Shoot for the moon and you might land in the stars. Aim for that feeling of what brings me the most joy, what brings me the most inner peace, and that's where I need to be leaning towards and planning to you know, be in that place. At least to make it a goal if it's not attainable right now. But I do see that you've made the choice. That choice has definitely been made. And we've got Disciple coming in here. I'll show you that card. So I feel with the energy of this card, there's a little love heart too sitting, and I feel like that's you there with the little love heart sitting above you. But it's like it's to do with going, maybe you've been talking to Spirit and asking for guidance and asking for help and asking for someone to just be by your side and support you and to be the one that holds your hand through things. And I feel like there is someone in your life, if they're not in the physical world, then they are in spirit, in terms of someone that is supporting you as well, and that will be there to help you. So I feel this is a really positive reading, and you've moved in Ahimsa. And this card, when I look at this card, I actually see like the Kundalini rising and the energy rising, the heat within inside. And I'll show you that one quickly. there. I feel with this card, it's, you know, you really are having a new beginning, and it's not just a new beginning on the outside, but internally as well. You're starting to live for yourself and live for your own joy. And if you haven't started that yet, I feel like you've made that decision to do that, and that's what's coming up for you next. Sure. Oh, I don't have these in the box. Am I going to remember their name? Probably not. I don't think I'm going to remember the name of these ones. Apologies, I might be able to add that one in later. Oh, I've already got some flipped over for us. Okay. Is there anything else we need to know in your reading today? Any advice? Any tips? Just a real softened energy, and also just seeing there's two of lotuses here, and I feel like this might be a journey for two people in this move as well. And if not two people, that could be including pets as well. But I feel like the card is just showing, or even from where you're leaving, there might be two people leaving, but showing this growth for two people in particular that have come out of something that they haven't been happy with, that'll be moving into something of peace and calm and emotional calmness, because we've got the boat on the water there with all the lilies, but it's not, you know, it's nice, soft, beautiful, calm, loving energy that's coming through. So I feel like if you just stick with this decision that you've made as well, because I feel like you have been contemplating things for quite a while to know where, you know, where to go and what's safe, and having to put your own emotions on hold for a while too, to make those more logical, critical decisions for life. So we've got 5 of Embers coming up next here. And to me, like the wands, it's like everything starts to take off once you make this decision. All other areas of your life, the goals and achievements will start to burn. They will start to light up. They will start to take off. So this one move will actually have a very positive effect on other areas of your life as well, and places that you want to be in those areas of your life. The next one we've got coming through here is 4 of birds. I feel like the palace is where you're journeying to, and I feel like there's other people around that have been watching your life, and that might even be coming in spirit as well. But I feel like this is where you're heading to, this beautiful bright light here, and this is the path you've taken, and you've had others watching and on the sidelines. That to you might personally represent 4 people that have been watching and on the sidelines there, watching your journey and your path. But I believe you are headed in the right direction with this choice and this move to something really beautiful. And the composer's coming through next, with also the lotuses and flowers coming through. I'll show you that one up there. So I feel like even though you haven't been able to see everything clearly, and you don't always see the future, and that does get worrying, and that can feel anxiety. The word prompting, that doesn't make sense. Prompting anxiety for you. You are in control, and you are making beautiful music. And even though things might get messy sometimes and not go the way that you want them to go, you're still conducting. You're still in control. And don't forget that this is your life, and you're in control of it, and you're in control of where you want to be. And the card that comes through next is the romantic. And I just feel that shows that, you know, same with the other one on the boat here, which was the 2 of lotuses, just that really relaxed, calm, dipping your fingers in the emotions. So it's not, you're not drowning, it's not overwhelmed. You're coming to a place that you can finally relax and maybe even hide away a little bit from whatever it was that you're leaving from. But and for some people this might not be a house move. It could possibly be a job, career change, a friendship change, a relationship change. But I do see a big move in some in some area of your life, which is going to be a really positive one because you've been trusting your intuition about this. I'm going to choose one more pack of cards to end on today for the root chakra card number 1. All those that chose that one. Very positive reading, I believe, coming through here for you. It's going to be a positive move and a positive change, and just trust that intuition. You're going to be feeling content and relaxed again soon. Yep, and the card, what a beautiful card. Paper aeroplane, I am free to make my wishes come true. And that's exactly what you're doing. You can make those wishes come true. You can create the world you want to live in, or that your own little, your sanctuary for you. And I'm just going to choose one more to end on. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you've enjoyed your reading. And bake magic cookies. I can give good things to myself and others. Just about enjoying life and that joy as well, and soaking it up, eating the cookies, eating that piece of cake. But in terms of life as well, not in terms of actually the sugar. You don't have to do that part. You can if you want. But in terms of, you know, getting the most out of life and enjoying the sweet things and finding those sweet things so that you can bring them into your life and you can bring them into the lives of those around you. Thank you so much. We'll be coming up to card number 2 next. See you next time. Hello and welcome to card number 2's reading. If you chose card number 2 with the green heart chakra bowl, you have chosen this card here, which is the 2 of Swords. In case you haven't tuned in before, this is intuitive reading, so some of the tarot does come through, but mostly I'm going through what comes through in the image for me intuitively. So this card, for the second card for today, is coming through as in 2 different messages. I've got one that's coming through with there's things going on around you that you're not wanting to see, something that's annoying you, something that's feel like it's taking control of your time and your energy and your mind, and you just want to shut it out. You want to get rid of that out of your thoughts. The other way that I can see it coming through is that you're not seeing those, that you perhaps aren't seeing those things clearly, that perhaps there are people around you that might not have your best intentions, but you can't quite see them clearly yet. But I'll show you that card again close up, and we'll see what else comes through with that message for you. These cards I'm using at the moment are the Light Seers. There you go. Thank you for tuning in to Gem, Holistic Sista. There we go. Interesting, this card's coming out. I did a reading today and both these cards came out together as well. And the card that's coming out is actually a star. So I feel this focus and this longing for this peace and beauty, and you've got that inside internally. So I feel like these feelings that might be disturbing you or putting you on edge aren't to do with an internal feeling coming up, but more of an external environmental thing that's been bothering you. The card that comes up, I'll show you, is the Star. And it's such a beautiful, peaceful card, because I feel like that's what you're longing for, and that's what your heart's calling for, the way that you're holding your heart too, which of course coming up with the heart chakra makes sense as well. And just that light and that beauty, pulling that towards you and yearning for that. And I feel that you do have that beauty and that light in your heart as well. And you're very much connected to spirit too. Here we go. So we've got balance coming in here. Well, it's actually temperance, but when I look at this card, I see the balance between the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine, and being strong with that as well. leaning into your masculine side a little bit more, which is more of the I don't want to say less emotional, but I want to say more leaning into that strength more, rather than that softening. Like you might have to get through what these people around you that are bothering you might really having to lean into that strength in yourself more, because even though it's, you know, you've got that balance as well, you're really holding on to the sun, which is the male. And the card coming through again with that also showing me that balance. And the card, it's the card Justice, but when I look at this card I see the two images here, but this one's actually taking up more of the card. So to me that again is bringing that strength through, and that even though you've got that softening and beautiful energy about you, that you might need to be relying on that strength to get through what you're going through right now with the people around you. That this might be at work or at home, relationships, just someone in your life in general that is disturbing you with the things they're saying to you, or feeling like they're trying to have control over you and you don't want them to have the control, and you're really having to lean into that strong part of your personality and that assertive and brave part, because I feel like maybe you used to be leaning into that softer part of yourself, but this is actually for me telling you to lean into that more strength and assertiveness with these people or with this situation. And this card came up in the first reading as well. So I feel like once you've done that with these people, once you've spoken your truth, once you've found that balance in yourself and that happiness, and tuning into that love, I mean, you can be assertive without being aggressive as well. And in that card there, tuning into that love and that softness, while also tuning into that assertiveness and that strength, and that, you know, trying to get justice and in the relationships with these people around you. And sometimes you need to be assertive for that to actually happen. But when that does happen, you're going to be so much happier, because you'll be able to see so much clearer when you're able to assert yourself and say, no, enough is enough. This is, you know, my path, and this is my life, and this is where I want to be, and this is the future that I'm creating for myself. And you'll be able to see a lot clearer once you've made that decision to step up and say your truth. And it doesn't have to, like I said, it doesn't, you don't have to speak a truth in an aggressive way, but definitely in an assertive way where you've got your own back as well, and leaning into that side of you that, you know, is in control of your own life and situation. Now I've changed cards and I've forgotten what this deck's called, because I've had it in a pouch instead of, I'm trying to remember, no, I forgot. Instead of in its box. Okay, so what's going to happen in your life? We have the Mender. So, yeah, so relationships and emotions are needing to be... sometimes you have to step away for things to mend as well. So I'm not suggesting staying or going in the scenario that you're finding yourself in. It's not saying to stay or go, but it's definitely saying be assertive, and once you've been assertive you'll be able to make that decision of where you do want to be. But there's the Mender card coming through here, but I feel this is like mending your own thoughts and your own feelings, and being able to have happy, positive, blossoming feelings and thoughts of growth and love. And it's like that's what you've been craving and wanting so much, the rest of the brain, being able to have the thoughts in the brain rest and just flow. It's like you've been praying and begging, can we just stop? Can we just have some peace of mind come through? Because I feel there's some energy that's around you that's just nee. And there's also might be people trying to persuade you as well. In a way, like you might have an idea and a goal of where you want to be and where you want to go in life. And I feel like there's other people trying to drag you and pull you back from what your goals are. It's the Three of Embers coming through, but I feel like this is you here and this is them on the other side, and they're going, come this way, but you're the one with all these goals and dreams and desires here, and they're actually over this way. So you're going, no, I actually want to go this way. I don't want to go with you. And I feel like that's what this reading's really about, being assertive and making your own choices, mending your own mind so you can have peace of mind, not doing the things that everyone around you wants you to do. Do what makes your heart sing, what brings you peace, what your intuition is telling you to do. And the card that comes through next is Bridge. Oh, there we are. Show you that card, Bridge. And I feel like that's obviously you there. And I feel like that's you after you've crossed the bridge. So once you've made the decision to start taking control of your own life and doing what you want to do and what's good for you, you're going to be able to get to the other side. But while you're still, or if you are still, you might not be, but if you are still doing things for everyone else around you that doesn't feel right, and you know, you're being bossed around and things like that, and not speaking a truth and not being assertive, while you're doing that, it's going to be very hard to get to where you want to go, because they want to pull you in a different direction. And the card that comes through next is Life Map. Show you that card. And that's really about making your own choices and having a life map, having an idea of where you actually want to be, what you want to do, what brings you joy, what makes you feel good, and how to best plan to head towards that. Because not everything is instantaneous when we do make a choice, but the choice has got to be made first before we can move forward in any direction. If we don't make a choice, we're constantly moving back and forth or not knowing which path to take. So just making that choice and having that direction is really important for you to start stepping towards it, rather than just saying, I want to be away from this, but where am I going? So making those plans. And I've got 7 of Birds coming in here. And I just like the way that the birds are flying together and everything's in sync. So I feel that coming through, that things are going to start aligning for you. Whereas the first card, you're being attacked by these birds. This card's coming through with a real alignment of emotions, and the troubles that are around you are going to start to soften and become easier, and not coming through as birds that are coming through in people around you that are annoying you and bothering you and controlling you, but coming through with maybe perhaps a new tribe of people that are actually going to be working with you. And we've got the Pelican coming through here, which I think is a beautiful card of power as well. The way that it actually holds this magic wand here, like you're finally in control and making choices for yourself and standing on your own pole in the water. You're not having to share it with others. You're having, you know, making your own choices there, which I feel is very, very positive. Now, which pack do we want to go to next? Let's see what your blocks are, if there's any blocks coming through with the Lonely Soul card. Or the Lonely Soul deck. That's this one here. Oh, got an extra card in here that doesn't belong in this deck. Let's see if it comes out. Ooh, what's that one? We have Covenant of Regret. I'll show you the card while I look into it. So I feel like maybe there's feelings of guilt coming through with making this choice, like you're leaving the people that relied on you, or you feel like you're walking away from somebody, that maybe there's somebody that's making you feel guilty, or feeling like you're hurting them in making this decision of walking away. But again, you do have to look after yourself and trust your intuition and do what is right for you. So even though they might not like the decision, we've all got our own lives that we need to create. We all deserve to be happy. Mystified innuendo is coming through here. When I look at this card, I'll show you here. I just feel like you've had enough of the games. And there's been a lot of games and chatter and words that have not been truthful. And that's coming through. I feel like this little bunny here is like wanting to play games with you, and you're just fed up and you've had enough. You've had enough of the word games and the dishonesty. And not necessarily lies, but still dishonesty. Okay. I think we'll just pick one more from this deck, because I think... We've got Ballroom of Echoes coming through here, which again ties in with, to me, through, and even the red dresses. It just ties into the first card with, for me again, of just all the noise that's been going around, like the echoing of negativity or criticism or discomfort and annoyance, and it's just like grating, but it's like repetitive, or it's two people or more than one person that's creating this discomfort. So what else can you do to better your situation at the moment? And it's not that you're not that you're not in a good situation in other areas of your life. This is just focused into this particular area where there's someone around you and some people in some way that are redirecting you in a way that you don't want to be directed, and you want to have control and be assertive towards those people. Yeah, so you're on your own path, and it's telling you to do that, and it's got you walking forward on your own path away from all these other directions. But I feel like even though the card is sorrow, and there might be some pain in doing this, in cutting these circles, job, friendship, relationships, whatever it is you're doing that you're walking away from here, I feel like it may be really hard for you to do, and there is going to be some feelings of sorrow and sadness coming through, because you might be leaving something that you've been close to for quite some time. It might be a big change for you in life. Let's do that one. And the card that comes through is Finder of the Lost Things, with a beautiful elephant with its trunk up, which is good luck. And I feel like the lost things are what's been lost inside of you. Excuse me. That cough coming through for me is it's your voice that's been lost inside of you, and finding your voice again, finding that light again inside of you, and that joy inside of you as a person, and being proud of who you are, and speaking up for yourself, and being loud like an elephant. Like being loud with your words. They're beautiful. It's a beautiful card. You don't have to be aggressive, but really finding your power and your truth and standing up for yourself. Oh, we've got two cards. We've got Sista and we've got Rest. So the two cards coming together is there may be someone that you're, okay, it could be very, it could be metaphorical, but it could actually be, for some people out there, they have been having a rest with their sister. But others, for you out there might be someone resting into, I think, the femininity also, energy, and the spirituality, and feeling loved by family and feeling at rest. And I feel that's where you're headed to with the choices that you're making. And once you learn to be more assertive and speak your truth, that you're going to get to that place of rest and feeling that sisterly love, that feeling of being loved, and finding your tribe and finding people. So if it's a new job, or if it's a new home, or a new place that you're moving to, or just in terms of cutting off some relationship with people, or having time away from those people that are making you feel uncomfortable and trying to control you, I feel if you can do all of that, like where you're heading to internally, you're going to be able to rest more and have that peace. Okay, I think we'll pick just a couple more cards for this read, and this is from Path of Light. Beautiful cards. I might pick one from here, actually. Redemption. So I feel like there's some real healing coming through. So maybe there has been some fights and anger between you and some other people, and I feel like, you know, you're going to get yourself back again. Once you can, you know, speak truthfully, assertively, not aggressively, but assertively, and get your own power back again, get yourself back again, and redeem those qualities that you feel like you've lost that spark. Okay. Where are these ones? These ones are Wishcraft Oracle. Send a letter to the universe. The world loves me. I feel that's just a message to actually put your goals out there and what you want out into the universe. So we had the life map before about planning what you want, and like doing a vision board or doing something where you're actually writing down and putting it out into words, onto paper, where you want to be, what direction you want, what things you want to bring into your life, what feelings and emotions you want to bring into your life, what physical surroundings you want to bring into your life, what people you might want to bring into your life. The world loves you and it will answer you if you put that out there. But if you're putting out negativity all the time and repeating, oh, I hate where I am, I hate where I am, I hate where I am, then you're bringing in that energy of being in a place where you hate. So putting that letter out to the universe and saying, I am so happy with this place. I love being in this, and actually, you know, visualizing the place you want to be and feeling it. Okay, one more. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Love your body. I love my body. So really self-nurturing as well. Loving on yourself as well, because I feel like there may have been a lot of negativity in your ear about yourself that may have affected you and affected your heart and affected the way you think about yourself. And it's time for you to be loving on yourself if others weren't. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you resonated with card number 2 if you chose that one. And feel free to leave a comment too if you did. Like, subscribe, share, all those wonderful things that YouTube tells us to say. Thank you. To card number 3. If you chose card number 3, you chose the bowl for the crown chakra. And this is your card. So it doesn't surprise me this card is going with the crown chakra, because this card to me always represents spirit with the bird sitting there. And I feel like it's spirit that has been directing you in your choice at the moment. So even though the pentacles can come in and they can mean financially. So for some people that might come through as a financial choice that you've made. And it's actually a choice where you may be making less money or giving up some money. But it feels better for your soul to make that choice. And also in the background cooking up here is some more money as well. So I wouldn't worry about the future with that, even though the more present choice might feel like you're bringing in less money. But we'll see what happens and see what we get. If this is going to follow the line of money or something else, because this might be something else for some of you. Some of you to do with finances. So the first deck I am using is the Lightseers cards. And the next card we have coming through. A lot of contemplation in this card, and it's interesting because I feel like you haven't, I feel like there's a little bit of not seeing the beauty that is unfolding in this card. So your focus is over on the empty bowls here, where this one is full of beauty and love and rainbows. I feel like it's your hands on it, so it's like in your reach. this emotional happiness, but I feel like you've been focused more on some of the negative, more empty feelings that make you feel a little bit more empty. So even though there's a lot to be grateful for in life, you may not have been paying attention to them as much because your attention is being pulled somewhere else. Let's see. A beautiful card of inner peace, and a great card that also to come with the crown chakra, because it's really about going internal and connecting to spirit and asking for advice in that way, without overthinking, without putting so much energy into the physical world, but focusing more on your internal world and spiritual connection and guidance. So that's come through again with, it came through with the first card, that spiritual guidance as well, guiding you to make choices. And this card's coming through as almost like you've been isolating yourself to be putting in a lot of thought for where you're going next in life. You've had the key to get out, so it's not like you've been forced to isolate, but I feel like there's been a lot of introspective. Does that make sense, that word? Introspective. That word comes through for me. So it's like you've been going inwards and working on yourself and looking inwards about what you want in life as well, not just about what brings in the most money, which is up here again in the Pentacles, but focusing more on what's going to make you feel good, not just what's going to make you more money. Again, this card with you, with this big goal that you're working towards, and you've achieved so much already. So I feel like the ones in the background in this on the ground here are ones that you've already put aside, that you've already achieved. They've burnt out. You're done with that. You're satisfied with those. But there's something else that you really want to work towards, and there's some goal that's really big for you, and I feel like ignites that feeling of purpose inside of you. Again, it might be meaning taking less money to be able to follow that track and follow that path and that purpose. But I feel like it'll be more soul rewarding for you than financially rewarding, at least to begin with, because I did see the money coming in later in a bigger way than it is to begin with. So perhaps you're starting with something that's going to be costing you more in your lifestyle, or something that you'll be getting less pay through in your lifestyle, but will give you more gratification in terms of soul success and satisfaction. And just that, the next card coming through, the Magician, showing that you have the power in your life to make these choices and to do what you really want to do. You're in control. It's up to you where you want things to go. If you want to go for the money and the higher paying thing, you can, but I see that real reflection at the moment, and looking in and thinking about that real heart, soul, purposeful desire that you want to achieve. Yeah, that's coming through again, the Ace of Swords, and that's the card that represents the whole deck, with, again, coming through with the crown chakra like that, just showing there's a real peace in this card, and this bird flying away from it, it's like you're letting things go. You're letting things go that were keeping you in the darkness before. Maybe you've processed a lot of emotions. You've worked through a lot of things already. So I do see this reading a really positive reading. So it's like you've changed your way. You changed your way of thinking and your direction in terms of the way that you make choices in life. Rather than making them all in the physical realm, you're actually tuning into more to your intuition and the spiritual realm on choices, things that are going to make you feel like you're actually living your purpose, not just making enough money to get by and to live, but you want to do that soul fulfilling work. And I feel like you've gone through a lot. You've, again, with that other card with the crow in it, where was it? Oh yeah, the last one that had the crow in the corner there flying away. It's like you've already gone through and processed so much already. You've you've tackled a lot of the trauma and the things from your past in your life, and you're full steam ahead, ready to tackle what's next. And like, it's a really positive card that you've gotten through so much already in your life and processed so much that you really are just ready to celebrate. You're really ready to celebrate and really, achieve the goals that make you feel good, not that just give you what you need to survive. But it's like you've done so much work already and you've processed so much on your own already that you're now moving in a way that's different to how you've moved before in your life. You're moving in a way that you'll achieve goals that are soul satisfying goals. Oh, sorry, I changed decks and I should have told you. I'm now using the Path of Light cards just to give you a little message here, which is, woo! It's a wolf card and it's my voice is heard in the world. So there's this real sense of freedom and stepping out into the world and being your authentic self. I feel this path for you is really coming through quite clearly, that you're ready to step out and be you and do what makes you feel good, and follow your soul and follow the feelings of life, not just what I have to do to be, a good little citizen, but actually what I want to do to make my heart sing and feel like I've achieved what I need to achieve for my soul's purpose. And happy poppet, I am enough. So reminding yourself of that as well. Reminding yourself that you are amazing. You are enough. You don't have to please everybody else around you. You don't need to make the millions to be living the life that gives you happiness. It's connecting with that inner child that makes you happy, and knowing that you're enough, and knowing and being authentic to yourself and to your heart and to your soul, and really leaning into that, which I believe that you are doing. I feel it's really positive. You're on a really positive path. We've got two cards coming in together there, and they are protecting love and strength. I feel like there's a little bit of a worry on your face in this card with the protecting love. So coming straight after the holding the heart as well, just perhaps you're a little bit concerned about how being your authentic self might make others feel. Like it might make them feel smaller if you're feeling more positive and bigger and louder and embracing your true self. You might be a little bit worried that it might affect their self-esteem or make them feel less than. But that's not something for you to, you're not responsible for other people's emotions. It's important for you to sing your truth and speak your truth and live your life authentically, and embrace yourself and who you are. And part of that is through strength as well, like that bird being on its own, even though it's on its own in that tree, just having the strength to fly forward into the light, even if other people might not be able to embrace what you're going through and the feelings that you're going through and the direction that you're going in. Now we have changed decks again. Confused myself. Actually, I think those last ones were Wishcraft Oracle. I apologize. These ones are Path of Light. Oh, and we got some popping out already. We have the self and we have moderation coming through. So I feel like that's that telling, being your authentic self and leaning into nurturing yourself and what you want for life and stepping towards that and embracing that that divine feeling coming from spirit and directing you and leading you to where you want to be. But also the card moderation is coming through here. So I feel like the only thing I would get from this card with the moderation, I'll just show you, is I feel like realizing that even though that you've got this wonderful ideas and this is going really well in your direction of life. Just remembering that sometimes the path does get a little bit dark, and that doesn't mean the end of the path. That doesn't mean you're not walking towards the light, and that you have guidance and love, and that you're on the right track when things get hard. Just to keep in mind that if things get hard at some point, doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. Doesn't mean you're heading in the wrong direction. It just means that sometimes things are challenging to teach us and to make us stronger. We don't know all the answers to every single thing that goes into our life, but I do believe that, you know, the web is the spider web. I see it like it's all connected, and every little ripple affects something else, and it's meant to. Coming through here, we have the 8 of birds. So it's actually like a twister on the water. Oh, is it water or is it snow? Maybe it's snow actually. Which to me is almost like it's breaking through those hard emotions that perhaps have almost like getting rid of those programmed beliefs that you've been working through that, and just like zooming straight through like a tornado through that ice. And the ice to me representing stuck emotion and stuff from the past that's been stored in us, and you're just making your way through it. And there's all these people in spirit and in life that are around you. I don't feel, and they're not scared of you. Like they're all around you, watching what you're doing and supporting you, and they're not trying to fly away from you. I feel like they're there as a tribe for you, and they're to help egg you on in life and what you're doing as well. And if you're not feeling that from people there, maybe it's about finding those people as well, because I feel like you've done so much great work on yourself and your emotions and internally. And the card that came through with that one also is the Mystic, which again for me, where is it? Goes with the Magician card as well, and just shows you how much power you have over your own life. And, you know, it's just a matter of making those choices and moving forward. I've dropped it. What did I drop? I dropped the Magician. So I feel like maybe sometimes you feel out of a line, that you don't have control, but every little thing we do has a ripple effect. So just remember that even though some things might feel like small little ripples, everything does have a ripple, and it's putting the energy into that, putting your own magic, the mystic and the Magician together. You're the one in control, and putting that focus and energy, even if you can't do it in a physical way in life, on a soul level, on an energetic level, putting that focus and energy and vision into what you want. Because I do feel this is a really positive reading. And I'm going to finish up soon. But we're moving to Synchronicity cards. Gratitude, beautiful gratitude card. And I feel that for me, that's resonating too with, I feel like you are grateful, and you're going to be so grateful too when you are, I mean, you might already be there as well, started to achieve those goals already, that path that you're on. I mean, that new path of using your inner guidance as well. So also with the gratitude coming in with this card too, to, you know, really pay attention to the wonderful things you do have. So even though you might be future focused at the moment, to still go back and focus in on all the wonderful things that are here. So even though goal setting and looking to the future can be a positive thing to do so that you're moving forward, also don't forget to look at the now and what's actually happening around you that is positive, and having gratitude for that, and gratitude for the journey as well. Gratitude for the people that support you. There's love. Gratitude for the people that are around you that are helping you to get to where you want to go. There's the shooting stars there as well. So the people that are helping you to achieve your goals, because tiny little things, even if it's just a conversation on the phone of support and validation, those little things can be really helpful for us to start, you know, moving towards what we want and towards our goals. If we are feeling doubtful or lost, and, you know, And this card that comes through, I changed decks on you again. I went back to, what did I go to? I don't know. I said it before. Is it the light? Path of light? Path of light. The one and the many is the card that's coming through here. I'll show you that one. So even though there's many paths for you to take, and there is no right and wrong in life, just keep following your intuition. Keep following the things that make you feel good, that feel right, that feel positive for you. Because as long as you're doing that, you are on the right path, I believe. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to choose you one more card. Please remember, I am Gem, Holistic Sista. If you look me up on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you are watching this from at the moment. And please share, like, subscribe, all those wonderful things. And if you're ever looking for a one-on-one reading, I will be starting them up by donation soon. So jump on my Facebook page if you like and send me a message, or send me a message on YouTube if you don't have Facebook, and or a comment, and I'll get back to you. And we have Divine Will coming in as your last card, which is wonderful. So, you know, you are on the right, I feel you're on a wonderful path, and a path that really is following the divine will of the universe and your higher self, and just keep tuning into that part of you, tuning into that part of your spirit and listening to what is soul fulfilling for you. And I think you're going to have a wonderful life. Thank you so much for tuning in.